We want you to do a whole lot more than just save money. We want your money to grow, just like your dreams. We want you to achieve financial well-being and the feelings that go along with that. Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing.
I did something for the Packer game, Dario, that I have not been able to do this entire season. I went to the bar. I pushed through. Doing what we do now with the morning show on Inside Wisconsin Sports, I have had to be glued to my computer, just like you're glued to where you are for however you're covering the game, right? I feel the same way about any Packer game now, except when I had a day to prep for the show. It was Saturday night, and I had all day Sunday, so I went to the bar for the first time all year. Bunch of Miller Lights, had an absolute blast. You were there in the press box. I don't think they serve Miller Lite, do they? Yeah, that's
they didn't. They used to, but some people in our business ruined it.
Shut up. They used to serve Miller Lite in the press box?
In like every press box, in every sport. That's how they got us there to cover.
Wow.
But good for you. I don't know. Probably Josh.
Oh, that's great. Okay. I'll take the under on that, but I digress. Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to rub it in, but it was a blast. We went out with a bunch of different people from the radio station. My wife was there. I hadn't gotten to do that all year. I didn't go to any of the home games. I used to go to all the home games. It was part of the reason why I wasn't sure, like, if I was going to be able to be the sports guy that the morning show needs me to be, but because I'd rather be the party guy with a bunch of Miller Lights and legendary moments. That's just me.
And a nice seat in the front row.
Yeah, I used to sit in the front row. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Inside Wisconsin to find options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. What are you doing for the Super Bowl? I throw a huge party. Why don't you come up for that?
Ooh, will there be Miller Lite?
A lot of it, yeah. Probably by the keg, actually. We might get a keg. Like old school college party. I'll charge you $5 for the red cup. Now that's distributing. Anyway, going to be legendary. Maybe we'll see you.
Pump up the savings with Festival Foods Gas Rewards. How does it work? Simple. Grab your card in store. Register online. Get points for every grocery run. Then roll up to Quick Trip and watch the prices roll back. Festival Foods Gas Rewards.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back. The Inside Wisconsin podcast here on YouTube and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Trevor Thomas, Dario Melendez in the co-host chair. Let's go, bro.
Feels nice. I like it. It's comfy.
It looks good on you. It looks good on you. Dude, we're not supposed to be talking about the Packers season coming to an end. What the ever living?
Too soon. Okay, too soon. Like I at halftime, I'm looking at hotels in Seattle. I'm peeking because I'm very superstitious. Like, bro, I wore Green Bay Packer underwear. Like Duluth had like a Green Bay Packer line of things that they sent out to people, and I wore their underwear because I'm like, you know what? Every time I feel like I wear these Green Bay cheese underwear, they win. So they're up 21. They're up 21-3 at the half. McManus just missed that first field goal. It doesn't matter. It was 52 yards. It's a little windy. The weather's rough. We're going to Seattle. Holy momentum, Batman. That was ridiculous. I hated it. I hated everything about it.
I literally said, why didn't they kneel? I felt like if they would have just knelt that out, and listen, I get it. Playoffs, all the points matter. They get the ball back after the second half. They have all of the momentum, and they have the ability to kneel it out and just ride off into halftime. And instead, they hand all of the momentum back to the Bears, and then I guess we all know what happened.
Well, I think he made the first one, and then Ben Johnson called that timeout, and it was a bet. Look, we talked to McManus after the game because obviously I was down at Soldier Field, and as soon as we walked to the locker room, his locker's right there, and he was the first one waiting for us. So, look, I give him a lot of props for that. Yeah. That's not an easy thing to do. The best guy of taking accountability with the press was always Trevor Hoffman. Like Hoffman was always the best after his bad starts, and he kind of passed that down on to all Brewers closers. They've all been sensational. But he said, this is embarrassing. This is the most embarrassing moment of my career. I left 7 points out there. And he did. Look, even if he leaves 6 points out there, we have a tie game we have a potential tie game because you're down 3, you have a chance to kick a field goal to tie it up. If he leaves 3 points out there, the Packers probably win that game. But when you leave 7 in a playoff game that you freaking had, I don't know what else to say. Like that was nuts to me.
We might as well get our opinion out there on Matt LaFleur, even though we're taping this on Tuesday of this week. The pod launches on Thursday like it always does. And there's a good chance that the air might already have cleared with Matt LaFleur. But what's your opinion on this whole thing?
I think the air already has cleared a little bit. The best thing that the Packers did after that game was usually you have locker clean out the day after. They gave it like 2 full days. So the game ended Saturday. We spoke to the players on Monday. And I'll tell you right now, every player has Matt LaFleur's back.
Yeah.
And if you're Ed Policy, I think that says a lot. My only gripe with Matt LaFleur is when he has a comfortable lead, his opponent becomes the clock and not the other sideline, where he's playing to kind of control the pace of play and just wind the clock down and get this game over with instead of let's just keep going and see what happens. Like, especially with the way Ben Johnson has been acting like a troll, like a total D-bag. Like, look, if I'm a Bears fan, I love what Ben Johnson's doing. I 100% recognize that. But as someone who isn't really a fan of either team, but I have more rooting interest in the Packers, bro, you've been there for a year. Like, what do you know about this rivalry? What do you hate about Green Bay? You don't know anything. You're just like, you're trying to be a troll. I guess it's working with the fan bases. Oh, well, Rodgers used to say he owned you. Well, he did. He owned you for 20 damn years. Like, Ben Johnson's been there not even for a full freaking season. Like, chill, pump the brakes, Bo. Pump the damn brakes. Like, you look like a clown. Whatever. But he should have just stepped on the throat. Like, he should have just kept the pedal to the metal going. I understand, like, as soon as you got to the second half, there were some miscues as well. Like, you look at the offensive line, they were sensational that first half. They were missing blocks like crazy in the second half. Receivers were running the wrong routes. And because of that, you had 2 3-and-outs. But you still got to the fourth quarter with what? A 21-6 lead? Yep. You had 6 minutes to go, and you had a 26-18 lead? 17 lead? I can't do the math. They had an 11-point lead. Either way, how are we here right now and not talking about a matchup against the Seahawks?
Sucks. At 21-3 at halftime, no Packer fan felt super confident. At 21-6 at the start of the fourth quarter, somehow we felt less confident than we did 21-3 at halftime.
I felt very confident at 21-3. The only reason why is because the Bears showed nothing in the first half. There was nothing they could do to stop the Packers' offense. The defense was turning them over. Ben Johnson was going for it on 4th and everything, which I thought was insane. Like, I get the message he's trying to send, but it didn't work ever. I was very confident. I wasn't confident at 21-6 because I saw the momentum just spinning out of control. But, to your original point, because I got, off track, I think Matt LaFleur's safe. The only way Matt LaFleur doesn't remain the Packers head coach is if Ed Policy is trying to make him not take an offer. Like, hey, we want you here, pennies on the dollar, yes or no. Or we want you here, but, and this is something I would actually suggest to Matt LaFleur, but you have to have an OC. Because
being that play caller?
Maybe take play calling out so he can be more of a CEO. Look, most coaches don't call plays anymore. I know Ben Johnson does. Most of these guys, there's so much going on in the game with clock management, which we saw at the end of the second half, first half, with both offense and defense, just being able to kind of stick your head in both sides. Like, head coaches got a lot to worry about. Maybe just sitting back and giving your opinion and just being that CEO, that delegator, is the way to go right now. Especially when a guy like Mike McDaniels, who he has a relationship with, is out there and he's interviewing for OC jobs.
Does this not feel like Mike McCarthy 2.0, though? That's exactly what happened to Coach Mike. He was calling plays. He gave up calling plays, whether it was on his own or not, and quickly took it back, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're a head coach that calls plays, that's what you want to do, right? I think it's kind of embedded in their fabric. It's what keeps them kind of connected to the game. But at some point, you kind of have to pull back. Like when I think of some of the best coaches in the NFL, like Bill Belichick didn't call plays. He definitely weighed in on the defensive side of the ball. Arians didn't call plays when he had, but now that I say that, and this has always been a thing for me, Trev, like I think coaching's a little overrated in every sport. Like think about this. Okay. I'm going to pull up a quick list, or I want you to think of who do you think the best coaches in history are, or even the best current coaches?
You're talking NFL only or in general?
Sure. Both. But let's start with NFL.
My mind was John Wooden.
And he had Kareem or Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
Easy to be really good when you have Lou Alcindor.
Bill Belichick, Tom Brady.
Don Shula, Johnny Unitas, and Dan Marino. Like, my point is, you show me a Hall of Fame coach, I'll show you a Hall of Fame quarterback or an all-pro quarterback he had. And right now I'm pulling up a list of the past Super Bowl champions, and you're going to find a quick theme here. I mean, what was it last year? It was the Chiefs, correct? So we go...
No, it was Eagles.
Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I don't know if he's gone on pace to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
So we go Chiefs, Mahomes, Sam Stafford, Stafford. What's Stafford's first name?
Matt.
Why am I blanking? Matt. Thank you. Matt Stafford is going to be a Hall of Famer. Tom Brady, Hall of Famer. Mahomes, Hall of Famer. Brady, Hall of Famer. Philly with Nick Foles. Did you remember his playoff run? He was like his number. I think he had like 8 touchdowns and 1 interception. Like
Jeez.
Nick Foles was playing at a Hall of Fame level. Like he might be the exception, but during that time. But if I keep going down, it's Russell Wilson, Brady, Mahomes, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, look, you could have the best coach in the world. If I go to basketball, like look at Greg Popovich. Probably the best coach ever, right? How good was he when he didn't have Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker?
True.
How good is Eric Spoelstra now that he doesn't have the big 3? Or Jimmy Butler?
How good the Bucks going to be without Giannis someday is what it is.
I mean, I was in New York when Phil took over. And guess what? When he doesn't have Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, how good is he as a president / coach? Because undoubtedly right now, he was coaching when Derek Fisher was down there. So, look, the point is, I think you need a coach that inspires. I think
that's my whole point with LaFleur.
Yeah.
I don't know that he inspires.
And I know Ben Johnson does. 110% Ben Johnson does. I think you have I keep saying I think you have you have like 2 different styles of coaches, right? You have the player coach, which is what Matt LaFleur is. He's going to take care of you. He wants to be your buddy. That's great. Then you have the hard-nosed, I'm going to be there for you, but you're going to run through a wall for me. And I think LaFleur probably needs to move more toward that.
Yeah. Because
his players love him, Trevor. Like they absolutely love him. They all vouch for him. Not one player that we spoke to said anything ill about Matt LaFleur. But at the same time, man, like at some point, you need to be able to light a fire under your players, and he doesn't do that.
Listen to what Tucker Kraft said, though. Tucker Kraft was like, he cares a lot about me, a lot about my family, my wife. Ever since I've been here, we talk all the time. He wants to make sure I'm doing well. What did Matt LaFleur say in the post-game presser, or I should say the postseason presser, about why he wants to be the Green Bay Packers head coach? He loves the community. He loves the people. It feels like the Midwest where he grew up in Michigan. But he didn't talk anything about football. And that's where I'm like, yes, you can be a friend and a good dude and want to have people's backs. But how does that relay to the football field? How does that transfer over? Are you asking guys and close with them from a personal standpoint, or are you professionally pushing them in the direction that they need to go? Jeff Hafley, listen to him talk and just listen to the difference. I don't know. It's easy behind these things to have an opinion on who should stay and who should go. But at the same token, we've all had the coach that we want to absolutely power through whatever. And it just doesn't seem like that's the type of guy we have in Matt LaFleur. So,
well, and Trevor, look, let's say they fire Matt LaFleur. He gets hired like that.
Totally.
Someone's going to hire him. So if that's the case, why fire him? But let's say you do. Who do you bring in? McDaniels comes from the same coaching tree, so it's the same style. Harbaugh, he by name and reputation, it's great. But what has he done really? Like, he was in a one place for a long time, had a lot of regular season success that entered into one Super Bowl or 2 Super Bowls. Was it 2 that he won with that defense? I know he won 1 with Flacco, and I think he lost 1. But anyways.
Okay, so good segue to the defensive side of things, though. I mean, how much dependent were the Packers on Micah Parsons? Because look what happened without him.
How many wins do they have without him?
0.
Like none. 9-3-1 with him. 0-5 without him. Like, he's a finisher. Like, we talked about Trevor Hoffman, Brewers closers. He is the Packers closer because the Packers are usually up on teams toward the end of a game. Teams then become one-dimensional. They're going to have to pass. Who's the guy that's going to make the quarterback's life miserable? Micah Parsons. Because the one thing I know we're going to be talking to a former Packer defensive end or defensive lineman. I mean, I don't know what the hell Rashawn Gary's doing. And I like Rashawn Gary, like, a lot. I don't know what happened. Like, there's obviously the clips of him jogging after Caleb Williams toward the end of the game. That 4th and 8 where he's supposed to be keeping outside contained, and he does, but then for some reason he's so far out because he got chipped, he wanted to go like right into the center of the chest of the left tackle. But when you go to the center of the chest, you lose contain. So then Caleb Williams rolls out and makes some ridiculous throw, which, look, tip your cap. But at the same time, he shouldn't have been able to roll out because Caleb Williams is not a good pocket passer. I don't care what anybody says. He's not. Like, from the pocket, 10 and deep, he's very average. Outside the pocket, man, he is special. Like, some of the throws he can make when he's moving around on the run, like that throw on 4th and 8. I understand Keyshawn Nixon kind of got a little lost, but throwing across your body, full speed, 4th and 8, season on the line, that was incredible. And you have to know that if you're the Packers defense, right? You got to know that.
It'll be cool to hear what Vonnie Holliday has to say. He's our guest on the Inside Wisconsin podcast today. He holds the record for most sacks in one game as a Green Bay Packer, and he was on a team where he was fairly dependent on to make a difference from the outside edge. It'll be interesting to hear what he saw in the Bears game, what he saw in the Packers towards the end of the season. I said, why doesn't Hafley just dust off the whole plan for the defense that was all of training camp? Maybe it's not that easy because that plan didn't have Micah Parsons in it, but it did have Kenny Clark in it, and it had Devontae Wyatt in it, and it had Rashawn Gary doing more than what Rashawn Gary was doing. So there's something to this that maybe Vonnie will have some good answers for us on. It'll be cool to catch up with him. This is a great story before we jump in. So young Trevor was in radio in high school, and these players get to know me as their producer because I'm the one on the phone with them. And then I got a press pass to come up here to Green Bay and go in Lambeau Field, and I think I am cool shit walking inside the Packers locker room as a junior or senior in high school. Got to know Vonnie a little bit from a personal perspective. I'm a kid. He's not, right? Like, but I somehow convinced him to go out to dinner with a couple of guys from the radio station that were coming into town. And I'm going to ask him, does he remember that I made him pay the bill?
You made Vonnie Holliday pay the bill?
100%. I was 17 years old, making what, $7.25, running the board for Packers games. I had no idea what I was doing.
I didn't realize IHOP was that expensive, bro.
Hold on, steak joint here in town. Where you grill your own prime quarter steak.
Okay. Yeah, man. We were obviously we were up in Green Bay for like 10 days this year for the draft. And look, I love Green Bay, but there just weren't a lot of options. Like, we ate at Texas Roadhouse like twice.
Did you go to Republic?
I don't even know what Republic is.
Okay, that's your fault. Republic Chop House is the steak spot in town.
Oh, is it? Where is it?
Yeah. Downtown, Adams Street, down by Hotel Northland.
There's a downtown?
Okay. Next time you get up here, you're going to throw you in the passenger seat and give you a little tour.
See, like, I don't ever like leave that Green Bay, that Lambeau area.
That's a Schwabanon, boss. We'll show you Green Bay next time. John Anderson would be so disappointed right now. Al's Hamburgers? Didn't think so. Okay. All right, let's jump to it. Our chat with Vonnie Holliday on the Inside Wisconsin podcast.
Inside Wisconsin is brought to you by Festival Foods, Legit Pizza, Capital Credit Union, Amplify Health, and Miller Lite.
Vonnie, I was just telling Dario that I owe you a steak dinner, and you were in town. We tried to get together. Didn't work.
Oh, you want to remind me how you stood me up? Hey, he set it all up, teed it up for me for the big juicy steak, and we're gonna hang out. I got to stop by this basketball game. My buddy's coaching, but I'll have time. I didn't hear from him again until
yeah, you did. I texted you back.
No, you did.
Bonnie, he did the same thing to me. He owes me 2 steak dinners, actually.
Oh man, I think
What
after
a
a certain
jerk.
amount of time, it doubles. I think you're right.
We might be up to 10 steak dinners by the end of the show.
Vonnie Holliday, we know him best as a former Green Bay Packer, but once a Packer, always a Packer. What's your take, man, on what happened in Chicago? My God.
Talk about a meltdown. The tale of two halves. First half, we come out, and I'm feeling great. I'm having a big party here in Atlanta, watching the game, playing cards. I'm feeling good, sitting back, relaxed. And then the second half started, and things started to unravel, and just you could see it starting. But I'll say this, even though it was starting to unravel, as Packer fans, we are spoiled because we're used to Brett Favre, we're used to Aaron Rodgers. Leave some time on the clock. We're going to get down the field and we're going to score. If we need a field goal, we'll get a field goal. We're going to be in the game. We'll find a way to pull it out. And so that was a little disappointing. And I know it's a lot of pressure on Love as a young quarterback that has to follow those type of players who are Hall of Fame guys. But we expect that from our quarterback. And he's a guy to me that has that kind of talent. And I just want to see it click and materialize on the field because he shows flashes of brilliance at times. And I know our defense didn't do a whole lot to help him out there. I mean, what is it, 27 points, 28 points in the second half?
25.
25.
Oh, 25 in the fourth.
In the fourth.
Felt like 100.
Yeah,
it
felt like 100.
Yeah, it felt like 100. But, we're a young team and, no excuses. We're a young team. And so that's what's promising about the Packers. But it was certainly disappointing. And right now to be still watching the Bears play really sucks.
Yeah, Vonnie, I want to talk to you about Ben Johnson, the defense, in a second. But you mentioned Jordan Love. I thought he played really well outside of the third quarter. The third quarter, everybody fell apart. But you mentioned those drives by Favre and Rodgers. I mean, he finds Matthew Golden with 6 minutes to go to make it, a 2-score game. And then if it's not for Jaden Reed dropping that pass and Christian Watson maybe getting little alligator arms. Look, I don't know what it's like. I played FCS ball, not no big Vonnie Holliday, but I got hit by one dude that went to the pros, and I was like, I'm good. I don't ever want to get hit like that again. I understand a receiver going over the middle is not the most fun position to be in, but overall, what did you think of Jordan Love's performance?
But first of all, let's not make a mistake. I was talking about this with Antonio Freeman last time I was up at a game. The game has changed so much. Going across the middle today is not like going across the middle back in the day when Antonio Freeman had his jaw wired shut.
Yeah.
Crack coming across the middle. I mean, it's a different ball game. So alligator arms should not happen anymore in the National Football League because at the game, the rules are for you to be successful and to have the confidence to go across the middle and catch these passes because it's changed so much. But you're right, and I know Love gets it. The quarterback always gets the blame, but I feel like Love has, especially the fourth quarter. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but in the fourth quarter, he's one of the best quarterbacks, this season. He's at the best quarterback rating.
Vonnie, he's been one of the best quarterbacks all year long when he's on the field, which is crazy to think because for some reason we haven't really put him up on that pedestal yet of the Rodgers and Favre. Maybe it hasn't been long enough. Mm-hmm. I've been impressed, but I always love a take from someone who's actually played in the league.
You got to win the big games though. That's the difference right now.
100%.
He won the big
100%.
game in Dallas. No one expected us to go into Dallas last year and win that ball game, and he played good. But you have to win the big game to be.
That's it.
In the conversation with those guys. Those guys continually found ways to win the big games, and that's the difference with Love right now. And I think that's why people are a little down on him because he has not shown up in the big games or won the big games. He's played well enough, no doubt about it. Like you said, the third quarter, everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a letdown. And then defensively, I mean, I know Micah goes down, but we got to find a way to step up and make these plays. And it almost looked like we kind of relaxed a little bit, which was kind of disappointing. We were kind of playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
That's what I said.
That is the literal Green Bay Packer way right now. Is let's just get a big lead and then forget what we just did to get the lead and play like very safe. Yet, to your point, we have to find a way to win. And we were 0-5 post Micah Parsons. I know the defensive end position, pretty important. We're talking to a pretty good one back in his day. Yet, to your point, Vonnie, something's got to give. I mean, did we just become too reliant on Micah Parsons, or did our whole plan revolve around him? And when he went down, it was like, oh, great, now what?
You know, Mike is a dynamic player. I mean, he's just an amazing athlete. When you talk about the T.J. Watts of the world, the Bosas, the Myles Garrett, I mean, these guys are game changers. I watched the game last night with the Texans. I mean, they have two guys coming off the edge that are scary. And they're young. And so I would certainly like to see our younger guys develop and not rely, our defense as a whole, not rely so much on Micah. And going into this season, there were high expectations for our Packers in this defense. And when you add a Micah to that, it just took us to the next level. And so I knew going down, of course, we're going to miss him. But I thought we'd have some young guys step up, and we had enough talent to circle the wagons and get it done. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. We could not generate enough pressure on the quarterback, and we needed one or two guys to step up and kind of do it by committee, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, and the guy that needed to step up was Rashawn Gary. Like to that Pittsburgh week, he had 7.5 sacks after sacking Aaron Rodgers twice. You know how many sacks he had after that game? Zero,
yeah, none.
Which is crazy, especially when you have Mike on the opposite of you. I mean, look, I know you haven't watched the Packers tape fully all season long, but do you have any idea what happened to Rashawn Gary in that second half?
You know, I don't know if he got banged up. I don't know if he, sometimes it's a mental thing, right? Sometimes it's a mental.
Yeah.
Like you got the other guy playing across from you, but I can firsthand. I played opposite Reggie White, and as a rookie, I got to feast, right, because they had to double him, right? There was a lot of attention paid to Reggie.
Yeah, you still got like a Packers rookie record, right?
Yeah, so it allowed me as a rookie who, for the first time playing defensive end, because I was an interior guy in college, but playing defensive end, I was opposite of Reggie. It allowed me to grow and develop my game and to become a pretty good pass rusher off the edge because I was one-on-one. And I understood what it was. I respect Reggie too. Thank you. I'm glad you came back. I'm glad you're over there. But we needed that to happen this year, and it didn't happen. And so, yeah, Gary, I'm sure that as a player, he watches the film. He understands that there was a major letdown. And hopefully this is going to be motivation. I don't know what his contract situation is, but hopefully it's going to be motivation for him to come back, fired up, and get going.
Yeah, it's a pretty big contract.
Yeah, it's all good.
Contract. Hey, I tell my mom all the time, 10 years too early. 10 years too early.
For real.
Yeah, you should have held out a little bit longer.
If that was the case, guess who would have never had to worry about buying a steak?
You would have.
Oh, look at you trying to weasel out of a steak. You owe us like 20 steak dinners by now.
Moving on. December 22nd, 2002, Vonnie. It's a big day in your life for all the wrong reasons, but when it comes to being a Packer, some of the right reasons. Will you take us back to that sack record-setting day that you had, please?
So much talent has come through, the Green Bay Packer organization. When you talk about the Campmans of the world, the Baja Biamilas of the world, the Julius Peppers, like so many names I can go to. You talk about guys who have rushed the passer and have done it well. So it's hard to believe that record still stands. Certainly, the tale of two stories, right? I mean, on one hand, I lose my cousin. He's 16 years old. He's an amazing athlete, great kid, model student, citizen, playing basketball, collapsed on the court, and never regains consciousness. I got 15 of his close family members, peers, ages 6 to 16 in Green Bay, hanging out with me at my house. We're playing Taboo and card games, and we get a call that he's passed. And in an hour and a half, I have to be at the hotel for meetings, and just could not do it. And so I called up to Coach Sherman and Jethro Franklin at the time and said, look, guys, this is what's going on. And they, completely understand and say, hey, take care of your family. Do what you have to do. Just let us know what you want to. If you can play, we want you, of course, to play. But if not, we understand. And fully anticipating when I went to bed that we were not going to play that day. We were going to all get on a plane and head back to South Carolina. But when we woke up and ate breakfast, we're sitting around and we're like, my little cousins are all telling me, and nieces and nephews, like, we should go to the game, we should play. Like, Marcus would want that, and it'd be great for the family. And so get to the stadium, call up coach and say, hey, I'm coming. And we all show up, and it was just one of those magical days where the smell of the grass, the breeze, the fans, it's almost like every fan's face. It was just slow motion. I could see it as I'm looking out into the distance right now. And we talked about it before, just like angels in the outfield, just that angel on my shoulder where the game completely slowed down. Every move I made, every time I placed my hand, and I can only assume when you talk about the greats, right? The greatest athletes of all time, the GOATs, whether it be the Michael Jordans, the Serena Williams, the Tom Brady's, the Muhammad Ali's, all these guys, people, Wayne Gretzky's. I would imagine that for them, this happens often, right? Where the game, they're just so zoned and locked in that the game just slows down and everything, and you're just so receptive and perceptive to all the things that are going on around you. And every move worked. And even I remember my last sack of that game. The first pass rush of the game, I come off and I hit Ruben with a stab. Ruben's a Hall of Famer, played left guard. I hit him with a stab. And when I hit him with the stab, his left hand came up immediately, struck me in the chest. And for whatever, I remembered it. When I got the last sack, I come off the ball. I'm going to hit him with the same move because I know what's going to happen. So I hit him with the move. Sure enough, his left hand comes up, swipe it down, rip, sack. I mean, it was just one of those games. And for the life of me, and I'm telling you, like, even to this day, I'm like, why couldn't I do that all the time? Why can't I lock in like that all the time and have that same level of focus? And I think it's the difference. I mean, when you talk about the greats that do it week in and week out, whether it be the Myles Garretts now and these guys, they have that. And unfortunately, I didn't have it enough. But for a couple times in my career, I had it. My first game in Kansas City, 3 sacks on Drew Brees. There were a couple games in my life where I was locked in like that and focused. And for whatever reason, the games played out that way for me.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft call that the flow state. Like when you just kind of get in like the mode and just everything slows down and it opens up. But Vonnie, it seems like, I don't know if I'm looking too much into this. It seems like a lot of those type of games come after tragedy. Like when I think of your game, I think of Brett Favre's game.
Yes.
When his father, like,
yes.
Why do you think that is? Like, is it just, do you think there's like a spiritual aspect to it, or is your mind just focused? I don't know.
I certainly think it's a combination, and I really did. I mean, I felt a presence. Like I felt like I was playing, beyond, like I was really observing it. Like, my body was there, but I was an observer of all of this, and I felt like the ancestors and certainly my cousin, they were all there, and it was just one of those days, and just the emotion of it all. Yeah, it comes back, and it's, just sitting here thinking about it, the emotions are starting to come back. Yeah.
Giving me chills.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. What was your favorite part about being a Green Bay Packer, Vonnie?
It probably sounds cliche, but the fan engagement, man, like the fans in Green Bay are just unreal, unreal. And I remember as a rookie coming into Green Bay, and we had a mini camp going on. And this is one of the bad things about playing for the Packers at the time. We stayed at the Best Western, which was across the parking lot. And now that whole area is crazy, and they have the right center and all that stuff now. But the Best Western, no offense to the Best Western, but it was just not the most luxe accommodations, right? And
what do you mean? It's the Best Western. It's the best there is in the West.
It's the Best Western. In fact, I remember during the second mini camp, and I'll go back to it in a second. But the second mini camp, I was dating a girl at the time, who became my wife and now ex-wife. It happens. But anyway, she came to visit me. She came to visit me in Green Bay, and she was like, I thought you made it to the league. Like, this is your first rounder, and this is the life. I mean, it was just.
Sorry, I wanted to get you the La Quinta, but it was full.
But anyway, so one day I'm at the facility, and I'm there for a while, and I think I'm nursing a turf toe, so I'm getting some treatment, and I'm also trying to learn the playbook. And it's just me walking back across the parking lot, crossing over what's that, Lombardi Way, going back to the Best Western. No, Ashland, Ashwaubenon, I don't know. Anyway, and so all of a sudden, just, I don't know, it's 100 Harley Davidsons coming down the road and pulled into the parking lot. because they were on some crazy Harley Davidson ride. And literally, I'm now circled by bikers on Harleys. Next thing you know, I am signing autographs for like 20, 30 minutes, having conversations. And it's the first time in my life that I actually signed a boob.
I was going to say, yes, it had to be a boob.
A boob.
Assless chaps. That was next.
And I'm looking at the guy. I'm like, you sure this is okay? He's like, yes, sign it.
Yeah, man.
And I signed a boob. And I remember coming back to my hotel and telling all my buddies, you're not going to believe this. Like, I just signed 4 boobs. Well, like, they're like bras. I'm like, no, boob, skin, ink to skin.
Bro, that's my new goal in life. Just don't tell my wife, but that is my new goal in life. Yeah, she might. Just a sign. Look. I mean, Vonnie Holliday did it, so I wanted to do it. He said it was okay. I thought this was America.
I tell you, but
okay.
Yeah,
So
truly, it was the people, man. The people in the organization. I mean, it's a first class organization from top to bottom. The Red Baddies of the world, the Flea, the Peppers, the LaFawn, who answers the phone when you call up to Lambeau Field, and you hear the first person's voice you hear is LaFawn, who I saw every time I go back to Green Bay. I see her. Because she's meant that much to me, and I make sure every time I go back I see her. But just those people who have been there for so long, that make the Packer organization, the organization that we love and cherish, and every guy who goes through there, echoes the same sentiments.
Yeah. All right. So that's your favorite thing about Green Bay. I know there's not a worst thing, but what was the worst place to play? Like, what city, what team did you hate the most?
When the Patriots are winning, hated playing against them. Their fans suck. Philly, I don't like playing in Philly. But when you're beating Philly, like, you love it because their fans will give them the business just like they give you the business. And for whatever
That's a scary place, man. I don't like going to Philly, man.
For whatever reason, the Jets, like, you suck, but you always talk. They always talk. They're nonstop.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Jets fans are the worst.
The old Raider Stadium was the worst because the locker room sucked. The wood showers didn't work. There were like 20 showers, only 5 of them worked. The water was cold. It was just a sucky place to play.
I can see that.
Don't hold anything back. I mean, they're just
their fans were crazy. Their fans were crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy. They had Gilbert Brown like a noose and a Gilbert Brown doll, like shaking it up.
I think those games are a little bit tamer now that they're in Vegas.
Yeah, a little bit.
I bet that's like the worst home field advantage in the NFL. I feel like it used to be the Dolphins. Like, look, growing up in South Florida, I feel like we were always outnumbered because there was always a vacation for the other teams. But now you're in Vegas, it's probably the same thing.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. I mean,
I've been there.
Like, as a Raiders player, is like getting to play in Vegas. As a young Raiders player, I wouldn't want that. Like, I'm so happy that God got me to Green Bay first. I can't imagine going to play in Miami or New York or Vegas or any of these places as a rookie, and you finally get some money and you get a chance to go out. Thank you for letting me go to Green Bay and relax.
Yeah, exactly.
It just came full circle to the prime quarter. That's where the worst spot was that you could spend your money when you were back here as a Packer.
The Best Western.
There's that. All right, man. One more before we let you roll. So when are you back in town next? You're probably going to be a featured alum this coming next season. You'll probably be here in the off season. I just got to make sure I'm not in town.
Hey, I'm coming to find you. I know there's some good restaurants out there. I'm going to come to your hometown. But I'll say this. This year was probably the first year where I had multiple visits back to Green Bay. And, it felt really, really good. And in years past, I would say, I'm going to get more involved. I'm going to come back. But it speaks to what we were talking about earlier. Once a Packer, always a Packer. My last snap in Green Bay was in 2002, right? Maybe early 2003. I think we went to the playoffs maybe and lost. But 20 plus years later, I go back and so well received by the community, by the organization that, I want to be back in Wisconsin. I want to be back in Green Bay. I want to be a part of it. And it feels good to be back. And Santana Dotson and Gilbert Brown and Leroy and all the guys, they always, asking me to come back. And Antonio Freeman, of course. And this year I took them up on that. And so I really enjoyed it. And I want to be back and I want to be around the team more. And I want to, I want to experience that more. So I will be back. And we talked about me coming back in the spring. So I will be back in the spring, and who knows? We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah,
for the Packer bus tour.
That may happen. That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
let's go!
Breaking news on Inside Wisconsin.
That may happen. We were talking about it. So
I love that. Well,
the holiday tour.
Please let me know. I will clear my kid. No more basketball excuses. No nothing.
Oh my God, he's all talking.
How many times have you heard this story?
Until you cut into that steak, I don't believe crap come out of his mouth.
Good to see you guys. Thanks.
I'll make sure I order one of their finest bourbons they have.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
On his tab.
On his tab.
Done. You got it.
In fact, bring the bottle.
Hey. 20 years. Sweet. Vonnie, thanks for jumping on, man. We really appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man.
Enjoyed you as always. Thank you. And thank you for your persistence, too, because, life gets hectic and running around. But I'm glad you reached out. I was in Mexico hanging out, man, drinking tequilas and enjoying the sun and fun. And now I'm back in Atlanta in the cold.
See?
Not as cold
nice best,
me either.
They probably got really nice Best Westerns down there.
As you were in Wisconsin, we'll check you guys soon.
Shut up and sit down.